If found, please give to my wife, Christina. I love you. I've never stopped loving you or even slowed down.
The blood-stained pages of Dan Woolley's journal reflect his most desperate moments. He had only arrived in Haiti one day before the deadly earthquake literally buried him alive.
I never could have predicted that this would be such a dividing line in my life of, really now I look at this and it's life before this and life after this.
Woolley's work with Compassion International brought him to Port-au-Prince to capture the pictures and stories of the organization's work with poor mothers struggling to hold their families together.
I love Josh and Nathan, the joy and pride of my life.
But the father of two also left a struggle behind at home with his wife.
It's not that we didn't care for each other anymore. It's just that we had allowed the busyness of life to get in the way of the true, deep intimacy that we used to have.
Though he grew up a Christian, the busyness of life strained another key relationship.
There had been a cooling off between me and God, and the priority that I feel my faith needs to have in my life just wasn't there.
The Haiti trip offered an escape, exciting work, and relaxing accommodations.
Stayed the night, Monday night, in the Hotel Montana, and got up early Tuesday morning, enjoyed the amazing view from the Montana, and of course never imagining what would befall later that afternoon.
The earthquake hit at exactly 4:53. Dan and his colleague had just returned to the hotel lobby, where the floor rumbled beneath them.
I had debris hitting me from all sides, and so something knocked my backpack off my back, something struck my head, I had a big gash on my head, and then things hit both sides of my legs, and then something passed right by my face. Within 3 seconds, the hotel had collapsed and went from vibrant color to complete, absolute darkness. I actually wonder at first if I am dead. I think that maybe, this is it, and I've passed on.
In the darkness, he could feel his camera around his neck. He began taking pictures, using the flash to see his surroundings.
At one point, I take a picture of the elevator car, and I realize, okay, now that looks like a safer place that I can get to.
In time, he freed himself from the rubble and climbed into the tiny elevator car. He hoped someone would find him, but wondered what would happen if no one did.
I was very concerned about that. What is it going to be like when I face my Creator? So I right there, came to God with nothing hidden, nothing held back. While I was doing that, I heard a voice in my head say, "You are mine."
That gave him peace as hours of waiting turned into days. He then began writing this letter to his family.
I was in a big accident. Don't be upset at God. He always provides for his children. Even though I had kind of settled my heart with God, I still didn't feel like it was my time to go.
Woolley wanted to survive and found himself worshiping God in the tiny elevator car. But after 3 days in the underground darkness, he became desperate.
And I decided to give up. And so I crawled out of the elevator and I just was laying on the rubble. And it was at that moment in the shaft above my elevator that I saw the headlamp of my rescuer as he came down and he said, I'm coming for you. I'm going to get you out of there.
The story of his rise from the ruins played around the world.
2 jours et demi dans sa cage d'ascenseur et nous précise qu'il se porte bien.
I'm still praying that God will get me out.
He lived to read that letter to his wife and children. His partner, David Haynes, did not make it, but Woolley pays tribute to him in his new book, Unshaken. It's the story of how he survived to rebuild those broken relationships with God and family.
I think the earthquake saved the life that God meant for me. He had pursued me to the bottom of this collapsed hotel because he wanted all of me.
Ephraim Graham, CBN News.